Alrighty, we are back for another Algebra 1 state test review video. Today we're talking about standard F.LE.5. So let's jump right in. A shipping company charges a cost per pound plus a fixed fee to ship a package. The total cost to f of x in dollars of shipping x pounds is modeled by the function shown. F of x equals 4.99x plus 5.75. Which part of the function represents the fixed fee? So, this, even though being f of x equals 4.99x plus 5.75, remember we talked about how f of x is pretty much always interchangeable with y, and that makes this a y equals mx plus b situation. So, remember, in y equals mx plus b, your m will always represent your slope, otherwise known as your rate of change. And b represents your y-intercept, otherwise known as your starting value. Okay? Starting value. So, we're looking at which represents the fixed fee. The fixed fee is what you need before you can even start worrying about how many pounds you're shipping. If you're getting a box, it's like the cost of the box, right? So which of these is our starting value? Which of these is the fixed fee? It's $5.75. X represents the number of pounds you're sending. $4.99 represents your cost per pound. And 4.99x represents your cost or the weight. Let's go to question 2. To start her collection of comic books, Joyland's uncle gives Joyland a box of comic books and several monthly subscriptions to comic books. The number of comic books in her collection, y, after x months, is modeled by the equation shown. Y equals 40 plus 6x. What does the number 40 represent in this equation? So again, y equals mx plus b, right? It's in a different order. Right now, this is essentially y equals b plus mx, because the 6 is the one with the x. We could rewrite this as y equals 6x plus 40. If you want it to be in y equals mx plus b form, we could rewrite that by the commutative property. Okay, so what does 40 represent? Well, as we said last question, b represents our starting value. So, does this represent the price of a comic book subscription? No, that would actually be the 6. The number of months of Joyland subscriptions? No, that would be represented by x. The number of comic books in the box she received. She received the initial comic books. That would be your answer. Actually, this wouldn't even be the 6. I'm sorry, this would be the 6. Price of a comic book subscription is not even listed here. Question 3 from the Spring 2019 OST. A fitness club charges members an initial fee and a separate monthly membership fee. The equation of the function models the total fee, f of x in dollars, that a person pays for x months of membership. What does the number 30 represent in this situation? So this is again a y equals mx plus b situation. So 25 would represent the initial fee, your starting fee before you go to any months of training. So what would 30 represent? Well, if this is your rate, and x would represent your number of months, your rate would probably represent your money per month. So it would be the monthly membership fee. The initial membership fee would be the 25. Number of months a person is a member is x, and the total amount a person pays is f of x. Question 5. Douglas opens a lemonade stand. He models the daily profit f of x in dollars of the lemonade stand x days after opening using the given equation. F of x equals 20x minus 120. What is the meaning of the number 20 in this context? 20 has to do with our rate. Okay? We're talking about profit, which means we're talking about total money made. X represents the number of days. 120. What do you think negative 120 represents? Well, it's negative in the thing we're talking about profit, and we have negative 120. This would represent the cost of running the stand. So the 20 would represent the amount of profit he makes each day. Yes, each day. Let's go to question 5. This question looks scary. There's a lot going on here. Jason compares the prices of 3 pizza restaurants that each charge a one-time delivery fee. He compares the total cost in dollars of X number of 14-inch pizzas using the function shown in the table. What is the cost of the least expensive pizza without a delivery fee? So, first we have to identify what this means. In restaurant Q, if we break this down, this $17.49 means that they charge $17.49 per pizza plus $2.50 for delivery. Restaurant R charges $15.99 per pizza and $3.50 delivery. Restaurant S charges $16.50 per pizza plus $2.99 delivery. So it's asking, what is the cost of the least expensive pizza without a delivery fee? That means if you ignore the delivery fee, ignore those delivery fees. What is the cost of the least expensive pizza? It's restaurant R's at $15.99. What is the cost of the lowest delivery fee? Ignore the pizza. It's $2.50 from restaurant Q. That's it. Question 6. Taylor has already read part of a long book. She's trying to finish the book by reading the same number of pages each night. The number of pages that Taylor has read Y after X nights of reading can be modeled by the given equation. Okay, so Y equals 35X plus 125. What does the 35 represent? So whenever you see, right, something in front of an X, I want you to read it as number per X. So this is 35 per X. What is X? Nights. So this is 35 per night. So this would be the number of pages that Taylor reads each night. Y represents the total number of pages that they've read. 125 represents the 125 pages that they've already read. All right. So that's going to do it for this standard, for this video. We've made it out of functions if you're going in chronological order. We have officially made it out of functions. Huzzah. But if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in class. Otherwise, good luck on your test.